welcome to We News. I am Nalan Hunt coming to you from New York. Today with me is, what are the words that I'm trying to describe your entire career, Sean, in little words as possible? I found it. Chef extraordinaire, Sean Rupshan, affectionately known as Chef Sean by those who've sampled and tasted his hard work. Sean, thank you so much for joining us today on We News.
Thank you for having me. It's great. It's great to do something like this. To just bring out whatever I could bring out to the community. Make sure everybody is enjoying
our new normal for now. Sean, before we start getting into the meat of the matter, no pun intended, do you have any other career besides being an executive chef, or was this what you wanted to do out of the starting gates day one?
Wow. Actually, cooking was a hobby for me. Back home, as I'm from Trinidad, I migrated here a couple years ago. At 10 years old, my sister got married early. My mom used to work, so at 10 years old, I had to do all the chores. And cooking was what I had to do, and it just became a passion for me. And when I migrated to the States, I had 3 jobs. Went to school full time just to finish, in a timely matter, so I could be certified in culinary arts and start by my passion, my love for cooking.
Now, to somebody who is completely clueless to what culinary school is like me, because I figured, they're just teaching you how to boil eggs, boil water. It really is a full circle education in terms of the chemistry and the composition of food, what works and what doesn't. How do you have 3 jobs, go to culinary school, and after all of this, on a daily basis, wake up and feel, you know what, I'm a little hungry, let me make this, and this?
Cooking is an art. You have to love what you do. And I got inspired as a young person, and I say, you know what, whatever it takes, I'm going to fulfill my dream. And you just have to want what you need, or want it so bad that you could do anything, and dreams do come true. It's a hobby, it's a passion. As anything else, you work hard for what you want. You put in the dedication, you put in the long hours, and you go there and just get it, and it works. You have to be passionate of what you want. You can't have a mixed mind and say, you know what, maybe I should do it halfway in and out. It's something you feel from inside.
I hear people say all the time that you could feel people's emotions when they cook. If you're vexed, don't cook when you're vexed. Is that true?
To some people it is, but like even when I'm making something, I say like, wow, oh gosh, this tastes so good. Like what did I do? It puts a smile on you, and then when somebody eats it, it brings joy. Like, wow, it's really good. To really come out and do something. I don't think you'll get mad. I mean, as I said, I don't think you should be cooking while you're mad or not. It just brings joy to you. It just keep your mind off every different things, and you could just put in a whole bunch of different stuff in your pot and just enjoy a bowl pot.
You make it sound so simple, but to us amateurs out there, let me ask you this before we go any further. What is the best and most perfect way to boil an egg? A nice, soft-boiled egg.
Right.
There are millions, literally millions of articles. And I have friends who will say, well, you boil for 2 minutes and then you leave it in the hot water for 7. And then people say you boil for 7 and you leave it for 2. You are the expert here. From today onward, when people tell me how to boil an egg, I am saying this is what Chef Sean said.
Right.
Tell the record straight.
Boiling water, a little salt in the water. Boil it for 3 minutes on high temperature, and then very low, and turn the water off, and just let the egg sit, and everything will when you cook egg, the yolk must be nice and soft. It shouldn't be hard and dark. You know, just a nice soft yellow yolk. Tops 5 minutes. 3 minutes with hot boiling water and turn the stove off.
And then let it sit for 2 minutes.
Yes, let it sit.
And then after that, you're good to go. You're ready. Everyone, you heard it. Chef Sean says, and let me see if I can repeat this, because I'm going to try this as soon as we're done here, you know. 3 minutes, high temperature, turn it off, let it sit for another 2 minutes, and then the egg is golden.
Yes, it's nice and soft, right? You don't want the yolk to be all hard. But I mean, like if you're gonna eat a nice egg, right? But sometimes you want to do potato salads, you know, it's a different temperature, a different cooking technique for like salads and stuff, you know. But you want to eat a nice egg with the yolk nice and soft. It's like over easy or sunny side up. The yolk always is nice and soft and runny. Perfect with a piece of toast.
I am deferring to you. You have no idea the debate leading up to this interview. And everybody said, ask him about eggs, ask him about eggs. I said, I am talking to a professional chef, somebody who has worked with the best of the best, and you all want me to ask about boiling eggs. But you know what? The show is about giving people what they want. So we're giving them what they want. Sean, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to start talking about your career initially as an apprentice. Those years that you have to say, yes, chef, no chef, yes, chef, no chef, before you could actually be the one giving the instructions. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching WE News. We're talking to Sean Chef Roopchand. We'll be right back.
Baby, when the bright lights start to fade, fire up your lighter, float on with the waves. You make me feel like you make me feel like you make me feel.
When you want to, tell a mission, sing up. Like you want my emphasis, spin roll like a jam can't tire. Endless loving and it can't expire. I will say, Jaja never answer prayer.
You know, say, you have the loving for me body when you hold me. And if you call me, we come. Baby, me now let her go. Love is like a seed and you reap what you sow. Oh, baby, when the bright lights start to fade, fire up your lighter, float on with the waves. You make me feel like you make me feel like you make me feel. Give me the fire, beg you, bring that home. Me need you like a home, me need my love.
Yeah, turn on the pressure, make you get numb. And when me blaze it up, me know you're not
Want it bad, bad like it against the law. Light up, bright up, yes, that me want.
Correct my palm, my skin, me feel the clap. I'm a body, she a draw. So me tell you raw.
Baby, when the bright lights start to fade, fire up your lighter, float on with the waves. You make me feel like you make me feel like you make me feel.
Welcome back. You're watching WE News. I'm your host, Nalan Hunt. We're talking to Chef Sean Roopchand, who has worked with everybody who is anybody. In the in the first segment, you just saw how we talked about making the perfect egg. Now we're going on to more complex, diverse food items and the work of working with food. Sean, everyone who gets into the culinary arts first starts off as an apprentice. And if we have to go by what we have been seeing on TV, it is a lot of crying, a lot of hard grunt work, no glory, no fame, but that is what you do to get to the next level. What was your apprenticeship experience like?
Wow. For the first 3 days, I was picking herbs to make a salad. Just picking herbs, washing and picking herbs, and just looking. I was quite fortunate because of my attitude. And for 3 days, pick herbs, and one of the sous chefs, he was right next to me. So as long as he make a mess, I would clean.
Oh.
While he's cooking, I'm cleaning his station. And he saw that, and for 1 second, he moved off the line. I stepped in and helped him out. And they called me. I used to make malted chocolate cake, and I started making it so great with passion and love. They pulled me off for herbs and had me start doing just chocolate cake. You know,
Wow.
it was, again, it's all in you and what you want, but there is good and bads. You know, you hear it, you see it, which is true, so true. I mean, again, it's all to the person and the dedication. You know, you don't answer back a chef, yes, what's next? Or how do you want this to be done? You know, like before, when they give you an assignment, you show them what it is, and they will say yes or no. You know, always show it to them, because you start an assignment and you do it completely wrong, then they get more mad at you. But you shut up, chef, this is what you wanted? Yes, I got it. Okay, good. Continue. And you just keep on, chef, what can I help you with? Chef, what can I help you with? You try to get to them so they don't get to you. The more you tell them, you know, so I use reverse psychology on them, you know, like whatever they need, I'm there. I'm always in their eyesight. You got to be hungry. Always be hungry. But the accidents and the pot throwing is there, because I mean, growing up in the culinary, you know, I mean, as me now, you know, I've been second chef for over 28 years, and sometimes in the heat of the matter, like it does come out. It does come out.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be going home crying every day, saying this is my last day, I can't come back. But as you said,
yeah,
it's really the hunger for it.
Yes, you have, you know, like when you're doing a dinner for 300 people, 400 people, everything has to be perfect. Even for 2 people, everything has to be perfect on spot, because your food speaks in volume, and your flavors, how the presentation, you know, it means a lot. So like when somebody come and they do something wrong, you're like, no, like why we went over this. Like if I'm doing a dinner, I will do plates like several times to make sure it's perfect. You know, cook food a couple of times to make sure it's perfect, because you want to portray and do the best plate or do the best entree, appetizer, desserts out there. You know, it's very important that you showcase what you do.
So Sean, would it be fair to make this offer publicly, that when you have these events and you need somebody to say, okay, thumbs up to this one, too salty, too buttery, I am more than willing to offer my services for free?
That'd be great, because you know what? So sometimes the taste buds off, and like where I work, you know, like sometimes I do food for like 8,000 people, and I have 0 complaints. And I want people to come to me and say, you know what, this was great or this was bad, so I could fix it. You know,
yeah.
If I like the open communications. I like feedback. Feedback is so important, you know, in cooking, because you know you make it better as you go. Maybe I should put this. Maybe I should put that. But you always make stuff better, you know. And feedback is amazing. You know, people hate feedback, but I love it. You know, I just love you know what's going on.
Sean, you said 8,000 people.
Yes, the building
in a year, in a month,
in a day. In a day. You see, cooking is not about just cooking. Right? Cooking is about managing, is about budgeting, making sure you have the right food costs. A lot of people out there, since the pandemic, you know, they all are chefs. But in order to be a chef, you got to go through front of the house, back of the house, knowing how much this piece of chicken cost, you know how much you're gonna sell it for. Am I making a profit? Am I losing? It's all about balancing. You know, you have a huge staff. You have to make sure you treat your staff right, like knowing your staff. Because if you don't have a good staff and your staff is happy, your kitchen is nothing. You know, because they're the one who makes the kitchen for you.
Yeah.
You're reading the mindset, like knowing, okay, he's off today. Let me go talk to that person and see how can I help that person out, and just bring back the game. You know, everybody is not perfect, and everybody has a bad day. And if you come with a bad day and you're cooking an anchovies at 500 pounds of protein and it's off, that will be bad. You know, so you have to work with your staff, knowing them, and just managing. It's not about just cooking, just managing the whole area. You know, knowing how much it costs. You know, it's a lot of stuff being a chef. It is just like going there and put the pot up and just cook stuff and just send it out. There's more to that.
So how long was culinary school?
Culinary school with my internship was a year.
Oh,
that was
just
back
1
in
year.
94.
1 year.
Yes. I went. Yeah, I went full time.
Wow.
Yes.
1 year. And you know, I bought an Instant Pot a year ago. And for those of you who may not know, an Instant Pot is like an electric pressure cooker in a lot of ways, but it's a lot more diverse in that it could slow cook, it could broil, it could steam. And I have become so proud of myself. But Sean, talking to you now, I feel like I need to go back to the drawing board and really rework a lot of my recipes, which I thought were brilliant. Now I'm hearing all this talk about budgeting and all this kind of thing, and I'm figuring, you know, it's a lot harder than it seems. And I think that's one of the reasons that chefs are so well respected, because of the artistry, but also the business acumen they bring to the position, such as yours.
Yes, I mean, for me, cooking for me, it's there. I could, you know, cook. I could cook anything, but just to know how to speak to a guest if something is wrong, to know how to speak to employees, to follow up on questions, to follow up on menus. For instance, like you want to do a salmon dish. How much is the salmon dish going to cost? A customer is going to pay for it. Are we overpricing? Are we underpricing? You know, so it's a lot of like back and forth, because no matter what, we in a business. You know, you can't overprice. You want the food, you want quality, and the technique of cooking. You know, you want to make sure that's perfect, else you will be out of business. You know, people have to support you. Once you do something and you keep on doing the same way over and over and over, they will always come back to you, because you know the flavor, the presentation, everything is there for them.
Sean, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the business of what you do. And I don't want to name drop just yet, but you have worked in some really exclusive places with some really brilliant people. I want to hear about those experiences, and think about it while we go to the commercial break. Best dish you ever made, worst dish you ever made.
Oh, wow.
All right. Everyone, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be talking some more with Sean Chef Rupchand. You're watching We News, and I'm Nalan Hunt.
Original article back one tracker, you know, so I'm lyrically hot on the coffee boom shop, the place once more again. Original Benji darling. Fire! Moha Production. International combination article done as a visa. Article done.
Let me not racha, let me go. Me now want me husband and family too.
Article.
Let me not racha, let me go. Me now want me husband and family too.
This is what she chat and me say what she tell me. Loving that she give me, nobody not gonna know. Keep it on the hush, keep it on the low. Ragamuffin at the college star of the show. Anywhere me go, I say the girl them follow. The way that me touch her and me love her up slow. No man can do it like you, I go do. I miss her, tell her, me say that off, tell her I would go. Day and night when me come in at the place. Woman, you know me, I go walk up your waist. Put it out of your structure and put you in your place. And send you out to your mother smiling at your face.
You fall upon a tree, boy. You fall upon above. You fall upon a tree, boy. You fall upon above.
No, and the loving well good. No, and the loving well good.
You fall upon a tree, boy. You fall upon above. Try and fall in anything, but don't fall in love. Raja, 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 let go me go. Me now want me husband and family to know.
Raja, call me Raja. Chat me the dance, all the platinum Raja. Article under Selassie I order. And this is what she chat says, she love me forever. Hot semi, hot like the pepper. Tell you sing, baby girl, you loving well proper. Nobody not gonna know when me give it to her there all night. This is what she ever holler. Baby girl, me give you the loving that you want. That part of it, tell you can you call me Raja. Baby girl, me give you the loving that you want. That part of it, tell you can you call me Raja.
Roses are red, my love, and violets are blue. Roses are red, my love, and violets are blue.
No, and the loving well good. No, and the loving well good.
Roses are red, my love, and violets are blue. Sugar is sweet, my love, but not sweeter than you.
Article.
Let go me na Raja, let go me, let me go. Me now want me husband and family to know.
No,
Raja, 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 let go me, let me go. Me now want me husband and family to know.
call me anytime, girl, call me any hour. Call me Mr. Lover Man, call me Shabba. Call me Sunny Man, call me Sunday Papa. Call me Sense of Fun Mouse, call me Young Man. Call me anything you want, call me a man. This is what me tell you, come and give you well in bond. Call me Ricky Child, cause you know me have a plan, girl. Take you back soon to a foreign land. I got nothing to lose, it's you I choose. And you know that my love is true. We can keep it real close, so go real far. Anything that you want, we do. Yeah, I'll travel the state, no need to wait. Got a mansion, a yard for.
Welcome back. You're watching We News. I'm Nalan Hunt. With me today is Sean Rupchan. Chef Sean, some people call him, but to the experts, the man. Sean, before we went to the break, I asked you to think about two things. Best dish you ever made.
Wow. I really love crossing food, like fusion food, with a lot of like French and Thai combination. French food is very authentic in the way you do preparation for it, but just adding a little different herbs, a hint of spice to that same cooking technique, the flavors like, oh my God, you have the authentic traditional French classic style, but it's just so different. Like what happened? So I like bringing flavors to unique dishes. Love doing Thai, as I say, like crossing flavors, like with the spices. And they have so pronounced flavors of spice, the kaffir lime leaf, the Thai basil, the lemongrass, the flavors, the gingers, there's so many different flavors that comes into work. And you could put that on any classic dish. The presentation will be there and the flavors are like, wow, what am I eating? And I always have that with the best of them,
And the worst dish you ever made.
I mean,
That's something that just didn't work out.
I'd say like doing like a nice risotto, from scratch. Sometimes if you don't pay attention to it, it burns really easy because you have to do risotto in stages. Yes, like every couple of minutes you put in broth, you cook the rice. It's not like a butter rice you cook it, and it have to be perfect when you have to know what to add the cheese at the end and make sure the flavor is right. Make sure it's not like sappy. You just that's one thing. Like if I'm interviewing staff to come into work for me, that's one thing I'll let them go. You know what? Make this for me, and see how it came out.
Yeah.
And if you could do a risotto, because risotto is patience. You have to have patience in cooking it. You can't rush it. It cooks on its own, and there are proper technique in cooking it. You have to go through the process of making it. Once you go through the process of making it right, it comes with a perfect risotto dish.
Good to
It's
know.
easy, very easy to burn. Yeah.
Good to know, because I feel like I now want to go and make a really good risotto and say, Sean,
Right.
taste this. Tell me what you think.
Right. Right.
You have
And
worked.
that's something.
You have worked with Philip Morris, who owns Kraft, Benson and Hedges, Marlboro, with Goldman Sachs, with Credit Suisse. How did you get into those positions, given how, especially in New York, how competitive those particular markets are? I mean, earlier on you said you cook for 8,000 people at times. How do you find yourself in those positions when anybody and everybody coming out of culinary school has their eye on those places to go to as their go-to?
Right. Yes. Again, once you start off, I started off as a cook, and as of any job or field you go into, you have first of all, you have to love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go in there and wake up in the morning and say, yes, I'm going to work. You say, oh my God, why do I have to go to work? You have to go in there with a certain flair. And what happened, my break, my boss was on vacation. I was a cook, and I just took over the kitchen. And executive chef from our company came in, and he saw what I was doing, and he said, wow, like when I have I'm gonna get a few accounts, and he wants me to come with him. And I said, great. And then I started over at Credit Suisse, First Boston, and there we used to do 12,000 people. But I was so fortunate. I started off at Beer Stern. The company had their own restaurant in the building, full menu. They didn't want the executive to go outside and eat, so they had a full-blown restaurant in the building. And I was always blessed with doing fine dining. And I started off at Credit Suisse. Then another district manager would come and train with us, and I said, like, wow, I have an account open up. Would your boss let you go? Yeah. And I said, sure. Speak to him, and because they're very open with opportunities.
Yes.
I've been working, for my company, the last company I was working for 24 years. And anytime there's a problem or of the executives are not happy, they want to get rid of the person, and I'm the guy they call. And all all the corporate chefs and all our bosses know what I could do. And they will always say, we're having problems here, could you go fix it? Yes, but you try to fix it like within 2 years, to make sure as soon as you go, you fix it, but you stay there for 2 years. And then if another opportunity comes up, you take it. And most of these firms, they're very high end. Just for instance, Philip Morris, you have all these big CEOs. Carlos Slim used to come in for the board. You have all these big name guys coming in, and they want to eat something well prepared, and that's where I came in. And again, it starts from being hungry. It starts from like doing the best that you can do. And with my company, they saw that in me, and I'll be the first one to say, you know what, if there's an issue, let Sean go and fix the issue, and everything will be fine.
What is mealtime at home with Sean? Just regular Sean.
Mealtime is fun. I go to my fridge and like creating, like for instance, last night I did a French olive, a red olive, and I had some beefsteak, tomatoes, and did some fresh basil from the garden. Just do so I shaved some Brussels sprouts, make a little salad. That's appetizer. And then for dinner, I just salted some vegetables, and I passed some chicken. It's my kids, they're very spoiled, and they can't eat the same thing every day. So it's fun for me cooking for them, and and just try to brush up on like what could I do? There's nothing planned, just go in there and just make something.
I was just about to compare recipes for at-home meals, but obviously I don't shave broccoli and red olive out of a gun. If I remember, that's what you said at the show, and people don't do those things at home. And on a night, I really lazy, I order pizza. You probably make the pizza from scratch. You roll the dough, you do the cheese, you do the this. But as you said, it's a passion that you have. It's something that you do not just because you have to, but because you love it. And I think it really, really speaks volumes to your own professionalism and ability. And I love that people can hear you talk about, not only your journey in terms of the places you've worked, but your passion, your involvement, your drive. That also helps take you so much further. And I want to thank you for sharing that with us today. I hope everyone looking on who is thinking of going into the culinary arts feels inspired. It's too late for me.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
I really, really appreciate it. Yeah. No, I say it, half-heartedly, but I do enjoy, and I do feel a little bit more confident each time I do something. But like I said, I am not shaving Brussels sprouts and squeezing olives and da and all that kind of thing.
Once you get used to it and you start tasting your food, you'll ask yourself, did I do that?
Yeah.
And it wants you to do more, because wow, if I could do that, I could do so much other stuff. It wants you to do do a nice plate, then you go outside and get nice dishes to put your food in. It's just it'll become a hobby.
Yeah, you just giving me work there. You just giving me work there. Sean, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us today. I hope everyone has enjoyed this as much as I have bringing this to our audience. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. It was great to share this with you guys and with the Win TV. It's amazing.
Definitely. On behalf of everyone here at We News, I'm Nellan Hunt saying thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe.